Hello coders, I hope you are coding well. In the previous video, we created auth service and we wrote the code to automatically check and create admin account in our Spring Boot application. And in today's video, we will create sign up user API. So let's get started. So in our Spring Boot application, before creating the API, we need to create a sign up request DTO first. So we will right click on the hotel server and we will choose new package and we will name this package as DTO. And after this we will right click on this DTO package and we will choose new Java class and we will name this class as sign up request. And by this sign up request we need to get email, password and name for the user sign up. So we will write private and the data type of this will be string and we will name this as email. And after this we will duplicate this line and we will rename it to password. And then we will duplicate this line one last time and we will rename it with name. And after this, to get the getters and setters, we will annotate this class with @data annotation from Lombok. And with this, our sign up request DTO is completed. Now after the successful sign up of the user, we need to send the user details. So we need to create a user DTO and we will use this user DTO in other APIs as well. So we will right click again on the DTO package and we will choose new Java class and we will name this class as user DTO. And the first property in the user DTO will be ID. So we will write private and the data type of this will be long and we will name this as ID. And after this we will write private and the data type of this will be string and we will name this as email. And then we will duplicate this line and we will name this as name. And at the end we need to mention the role. So we will write private and the data type of this will be user role and we will name this as user role. And at the end we will annotate this with @data annotation from Lombok. And after this we need to write create user method. So we will open our auth service implementation and here we will start writing a new method and this method will return user DTO and we will name this method as create user. And in the params of this method we will accept sign up request and we will name this as sign up request. And in the body of this method, before creating a new user, we need to check if we already have a user with the same email, and in that case we will throw an error. So we will write if condition and in this we will use our user repository and we will call a method find first by email which we created in the previous video. And in the params we need to pass the email. So we will write sign up request dot get email. And after this, to check the availability of the response, we will call is present method. And if it is true, then we need to throw an exception. So we will write throw new entity exist exception. And for the message we will pass user already present with email and then we will pass the email from sign up request. And if it is false, then we can create a new user. So we will write user and we will name this as user and we will initialize it by calling new user. And after this we need to set the data in this user. So we will write user dot set email and in the params we need to pass the email which we can get from sign up request dot get email. And after this we need to set the name. So we will write user dot set name method and in the params we will pass sign up request dot get name. And after the name we need to set the role. So we will write user dot set user role method and in the params we need to pass the user role. So we will write user role dot customer. And after this we need to set the password. So we will write user dot set password method and in the params we need to pass the encrypted password. So we will use new bcrypt password encoder and we will call encode method and in the params we need to pass our raw password which we can get by calling sign up request dot get password method. And with this our user is completed. Now we need to save this user. So we will create a new user object and we will name this as created user And after this we will use our user repository and we will call save method, and in the params we will pass user. And after this we will write a return statement and we will use our created user, and we will call a method get user DTO to convert this entity to the user DTO. And with this our create user method is completed. Now we need to create this get user DTO method in the user. So let's open our user class, and at the end we will write a new method, and this method will return user DTO, and we will name this method as get user DTO. And in the body of this method we will create a new object of the user DTO, and we will name this as DTO, and we will initialize it with new user DTO. And now we need to set the data in this DTO. So we will write DTO dot set ID, and in this we will pass ID. And after the ID we need to set the username. So we will write DTO dot set name method, and in this we will pass name. And after the name we need to set the email. So we will write DTO dot set email, and in this we will pass email. And after the email we need to set the user role. So we will write DTO dot set user role method, and in the params we will pass user role. And at the end we will write a return statement and we will return DTO. And with this our get user DTO method is completed. Now let's go back to auth service implementation, and after this we will copy this and we will open our auth service and we will mention it here. And after this, to call this method we need to create an endpoint. So we will right click on the hotel server package and we will choose new package, and we will name this package as controller. And after this we will right click on this controller package and we will choose a new package, and we will name this package as auth. And now in this auth package we need to create auth controller. So we will right click on it and we will choose new Java class, and we will name this class as auth controller. And after this we will annotate this class with @rest controller annotation. And after this we will add an annotation for the request mapping, and for the URL we will set /API/auth. And at the end we will annotate this class with @required augs constructor from Lombok. And after this we need to inject our auth service. So we will write private final, and here we will mention auth service, and we will name this as auth service. And after this we will write a new method, and this method will return response entity, and we will name this method as signup user. And in the params we need to accept signup request. So we will mention @request body annotation, and we will write signup request, and we will name this as signup request. And in the body of this method we will write a try block, and in this block we will create a new user DTO, and we will name this as created user. And after this we will use our auth service and we will call a method create user, and in the params we will pass signup request. And after this we will write a return statement and we will return new response entity, and in the body we will pass created user. And for the status we will return http status dot OK. And with this our try block is completed. Now we will write a catch block, and in this catch block we will catch entity exist exception, and we will name this as entity exist exception. And in the body of this block we will write a return statement and we will return new response entity, and in the body we will pass a message user already exists. And after this we will pass http status dot not acceptable, and at the end we will write another catch block, and in this catch block we will catch exception and we will name this as E. And in the body of this block we will write a return statement and we will return new response entity, and in the body we will pass a message user not created, come again later. And after this we need to send the status, and we will return http status dot bad request. And at the end we will annotate this signup user method with @post mapping annotation, and for the URL we will set /signup. And with this our signup user API is completed. Now let's run our application. And as you can see, we got an error, and in the action it says consider defining a bean of type auth service in your configuration. And to fix this error, we will open our auth service implementation, and here we need to write implements auth service, and this should fix this error. So let's run our application again. And as you can see, our application is up on port 8080 without any errors. And that's it for this video. In the next video, we will create web security configuration, and we will add this signup URL in the permit all, and then we will test this signup user API.